Okay guys, so today in this video I'm going to talk about if you should shoot with a one motion shooting form or if you should shoot with a two motion shooting form. Now I know previously I've mentioned that you should shoot with the one motion shooting form as much as you can, where you're basically like not jumping high, you're just jumping a little bit or just enough to power your shot. But I am going to mention that there are situations where you can use a two motion shooting form where you're jumping just as high as you can to get the ball to the basket. And today I'm going to talk about those differences and I'm going to try to like explain it to you guys as much as I can. Okay, so for the situations in which you can jump as high as you want and use a two motion shooting form, it's basically right when you're like inside the 3-point line, or if you're like really close to the basket right here. If you want to jump as high as you can't do that. And the number one reason you want to do this is because you don't want to get blocked, right? So if you're close to the basket, there's going to be defenders everywhere right here, right? If you jump just a little bit, there's a high chance you're going to get blocked. But if you have a really high jump and you can jump as high as you want, there's a better chance of you getting the ball over the defender who's trying to block you and making a shot. Another reason that you can jump as high as you can from the mid-range or like when you're in the paint is because of the fact that we don't really need to use our legs to power the shot. We need it to power the shot when we're behind the 3-point line or when we're shooting from very far, right? But when you're inside the paint or like you're on the wings or the mid-range area, you can use your flick of the wrist, your upper body strength, and your arms and hands to get the ball to the basket, right? You don't need your legs to shoot from here. You can if you want, but you don't really need it. So in that situation, if you want to jump as high as you can and you have the ability to get the ball to the basket without using your legs and just using your arms or your hands, then that would be a very great reason to shoot with the two motion shooting form, even though I do try to say to not use it as much. Now for the situations in which I want you guys to use the one motion shooting form is when you are behind the 3-point line or beyond, right? And the most important reason you want to use a one motion shooting form when you're at the 3-point line is because of the fact that we want to use our legs to power the shot and get the ball to the basket. Now, this also means that we are avoiding shooting with our upper body and arms. Now, what does that mean? That means that I want you guys to avoid jumping as high as you possibly can when you're from behind the 3-point line and you're shooting from behind the 3-point line, okay? Because when you jump as high as you can, you're going to lose the momentum and the power you gained from the jump to your highest point. You're going to lose all the momentum and power, and you're going to be using your upper body and your arms and your wrists to get the ball to the basket. And that's going to be very hard and inconsistent. And we don't want to do that. And I also say that because I know some young players who are very weak and they can't get the ball to the basket. And sometimes they'll start using two hands to shoot the ball. And that just means that they're not using their legs to shoot the ball and to power the shot, right? But you guys know what is very strong? It's our legs. And we want to use our legs to power the shot as much as we can, especially when you're shooting from very far away. Okay, so to put everything together and to summarize it, if you're inside this paint, you're in the mid-range area, you can jump as high as you want as long as you have the ability and strength to get the ball to the basket when you're using your upper body to shoot, right? But if you're at the 3-point line or beyond, I want you guys to use your legs and jump just a little bit or jump enough where you're able to use your legs to power the shot and get the ball to the basket, because naturally our legs are stronger than our upper body. And that would be the best way to summarize this right here. But yeah, that's all it for today. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Check out my other videos. I know they help you guys a lot, and I'll see you guys in the next one.